Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome to the Medium's Table. I'm your host, Michelle Gardner. This podcast is your personal invitation to join me at the intersection of the everyday and the extraordinary. Together, we'll explore the magic of mediumship, share spiritual stories, and connect with fellow mediums on this incredible journey. So grab a seat, pour yourself a cuppa, and come join us at the Medium's Table, where spirits gather and stories unfold. Disclaimer, just a heads up to all our lovely followers. Our social media is a space where we share personal stories, including those of various mediums. Let's keep the vibe positive and respect each other's beliefs. Every journey is unique, and here we celebrate the diversity of experiences. I'd like to welcome back to the show my husband, Shane. Now, we were together. We did our first episode 40 together, episode 40. If you missed it, please go back and watch it.
Yeah, go check it.
So,
and say hello in the comments.
Yes, in that episode, you were supposedly interviewing me.
I think that just went
out the window.
A whole different direction.
Yeah, well, Anyway, ever the interviewer, and I just can't help it. But we had a lot in that. We did have a lot in that.
Perfectionism as well.
Yes.
Is that a word?
I don't know, possibly. But we did have a lot in that episode. And we covered a lot of topics and a lot of ground about our life and our journey together.
Yes.
And a little bit, well, actually, we covered a bit of everything. I'm not going to give too much away. You'll need to go and watch episode 40 and see for yourself. So today I thought it would be nice for me to interview you and ask you a few questions.
Oh, no. Okay.
But these are, look, as a couple, and even if you've only got one person, as a medium or doing some sort of spiritual modality, and the husband doesn't or the wife doesn't, either or, it's always important to be supportive regardless, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely.
And this is something that you've always been supportive of my journey, and, well, likewise, but we've never really delved into too far back about where you stand or sit on the spiritual belief. So that's what I'd like to touch in on today, because there's a lot of people who may have been raised in churches, religion, the family was religious, and some not.
Went to church every Sunday.
There you go.
Well, dragged to church every Sunday, I should say.
There you go. So it's one of those things that I think it's interesting to go back and see where you started, like where was your spiritual journey? Because we talk about mine, I talk about mine here and there with other people as well, but we did discuss mine. So I think it's interesting, and I think it would be really great for you to share, where did yours start? Like, how far back, what do you remember when you grew up about anything spiritual, and what were the beliefs around that?
I grew up in the Bible Belt of America in South Carolina.
So hang on. So before, what's the Bible Belt mean for some people?
It's just the area that runs through America that, I guess, in the South, where most people are religious. They carry their Bible with them, and if you don't, they hate you. So
they preach it and talk about it and pray for everyone, and everyone's got to go to church and that sort of.
You go to church, you're going to hell if you don't do that. You don't be. I mean, for what it's worth, it's good to bring somebody up like that.
Which is very different.
But a lot of things happen along the way, and you really just question yourself what's real and what's not.
And the reason why I like this, because in Australia, like, we grew up so different. Australia is very different. I mean, back in the day, a lot of people still went to church. Not so much now. Like, it's very hard to find someone. I don't know anyone that actually goes to church. It's almost like not a done thing anymore here. It's not like America, is it?
Yeah, absolutely not. It's just the religion here, or the anti-religion for most of it, is it's probably 80% non-religious or don't believe in anything, or I mean, they still have churches and stuff like that, but nothing like what I grew up in.
Yeah, and they're getting few and far between here. So okay, so you grew up in the Bible Belt, so you would go to church every Sunday.
Go to church on Sundays, sometimes on Wednesday night. Not often unless I was staying with my dad because mom worked a lot. I think that it's good to a certain extent. I got baptized when I was 10. I don't know if you know what baptism is, where you go in front of the church and they usually do it like on a Sunday night, and you go up to the front of where the pulpit is, and they take the top off of it, and there's a swimming pool up underneath it.
Ooh.
Yeah. Ooh, if you want. So yeah, and then the preacher says, "Have you dedicated your life?" and all this stuff, and then he takes you by the head and dunks you under the water, and that's being baptized. And
yeah,
that's just the way it was, the way we grew up. I don't even know if my brother did it.
Yeah, right.
I'd have to ask him.
So did you enjoy going to church back then? Like, was it something that you believed in? And
well, I did growing up. I did believe in it, and also believe that if you thought the wrong thing, that somebody's there listening to you, and somebody is.
Oh yes, we know the spirit world is.
We know
now.
the spirit world. The spirit world is. I mean, I still believe in God and all that. Don't get me wrong. Just I believe there's a lot of other things in addition to God as well. But when things happen in your life, there's a lot of things that you do question, and you ask yourself, why me? Or just
so like when a tragedy happens, or you lose a loved one, and that's when you start to question. So your beliefs changed over time. Is that what you're saying?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, to a point where you didn't believe anymore, or like what changed?
Well,
how did your beliefs change?
Well, my son was killed about 11 years ago, and that just changed everything. Questioned everything. I don't know.
Just about God in general?
Yeah, absolutely. Just
yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. There's something out there, and there's a reason for it, but I can't figure out why.
So how long was it till you like what? So okay, so you went to church, then there was that the.
Well, I went to church
loss.
like every other weekend with my dad and stepmom. But that's when I stayed with them every other weekend. And yeah, I enjoyed going to church and doing the church thing. They had a lot of go Easter egg hunting on Easter, and it was just something that you do all as a child. And
well, you don't know what you don't know, because that's just how
Well, that's all I knew. That's exactly right.
So once you lost your son, how long was it then until, like, what changed for you after that? Because I know when we met,
it was shortly after.
Yeah. So would you say it was our relationship that started to take a turn?
Well, the relationship and how I thought about things after that happened, I didn't really have. Well, thanks to you, I took some time off work and got myself back together. It took a couple of years, but we got there. I still answer, why all the time. Why? I don't know. Kids being kids, and didn't you realize that? Oh, I guess when I was growing up, I should have died 100 times because I did some crazy stuff.
Well, I mean, when you're young, you're invincible, aren't you? You think you're invincible.
Yeah.
So okay, so once I started getting into mediumship, what changed for you then? Did you then go back to believing, okay, so maybe there is a God? Or
well, I didn't really have an opinion at the time. I just sat back and listened. Don't really question a whole lot of things. Just watch you doing the meditation. Tried some of that because insomnia has been my friend for years. Just trying to have a good night's sleep, just hard. But you listen to things at night while you're trying to sleep, and the subconscious, it's crazy to listen to some of the meditations at night, and it just kind of clears your mind.
They work on a deep level, don't they?
Oh, yeah.
Very beneficial. For those that don't know so YouTube has 8-hour meditations that you can listen to all night.
Or lucid dreams as well.
Yes. Many, many different topics for many, many different issues that someone might want to work on.
They even have some for smoking.
Yeah, exactly. I mean? Yeah. So 8 hours. So while you're sleeping, you just have it playing.
And it feeds your subconscious mind.
Yeah, quietly in the background. Have it playing quietly in the background, like on your phone.
And different frequencies that it has.
Yeah. And you'll find within...
There's all kind of they have what they call a God frequency or whatever.
Yeah. Within a week, you'll notice changes. It's quite amazing because the subconscious mind never turns off. It's always listening. So you started doing that, and then I started getting into mediumship, and that's when to practice to start with, when if you watched episode 40, I talked about, to start with hearing voices after a trauma that we also had, another one in the family, a traumatic situation happened, which was what sort of led me in the direction of mediumship, trying to find that inner peace again, trying to put life back together and find some balance. And that's when I started hearing the voices, which we do talk about. But you were then, the topic of, we would talk about it. And that's when you would get me to do readings for family that had passed and all that sort of thing. So, the proof was then coming out, because there's things that I didn't know that, only you knew, or your dad knew, or your mum at the time, and all that sort of thing. So what do you believe now? Like, do you still believe that there's a God, or do you?
There is a God, and there's also spirits of people around you. Tyler actually come and talked to me the other night.
Which is his son. Yeah.
And actually my mom was there too, but anyway. It's just a way of dealing with traumatic situations, and kind of putting me at peace as well, knowing that, he's there and he's doing all right.
And you've been really fortunate to be a sitter, which is a person who's receiving a reading, in the circles, in the practice circles.
I'm a guinea pig.
Yeah, the practice circles that I run and go to. So that's been really great for you, hasn't it? To hear messages, from a loved one on the other side. And it's not just your son, it's been other family members as well that have come through. So that's, and this is, I love this part of it, because this is the healing.
Well, Tyler was actually the second son that passed. The first one was Drew was a stillborn before that. So, I don't know. It's, like I said, it leaves you questioning a whole lot of things. And you look for answers wherever you can. Yeah,
and do your best just to try and find balance in life after that, isn't it, really?
Yeah, because what are you here for?
Yeah, that's it. And to know that they're not gone, they've just
they're around you. They're there.
Yeah, and they're always listening. And it doesn't matter if you say it out loud; they still know what you're thinking.
Here we go. Yeah.
But we know that for a fact.
Yes.
We do know that for a fact. So do you feel that your that your belief has been, I don't want to say healed, but perhaps what you did believe as a child and what you were told to what you actually now know and what you've actually now experienced? Do you think that there is a difference between what they teach, and I'm not knocking churches or religion.
What they teach and the reality that I went through is kind of between night and day. If they consider mediumship, I guess, witchcraft and work of the devil and all that stuff, and I just don't really see it that way. My son wasn't a devil. he still talks to me. I can feel him around me. I know he's there. So that's not the work of a devil.
No, that's right. Exactly.
If it is, then that's pretty cruel.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. And I mean, look, realistically, when a medium brings through information that only you know, where does that come from? I mean, come on. And you don't know the medium 9 times out of 10.
No,
you might
right.
know their name and that's it. It's not like you've sat down and had a conversation and you've known them for, 5 years. So that's where the evidence really stacks up, doesn't it?
Well, we went to one before you really got into it with, I don't want to say her name, but we went to that pub thing that she had.
Oh, yes. I'm trying to think when you're saying that. Yes. I do remember that.
So,
yes.
Yeah. That was pretty good. There's no way she could have known what she knew and what she told me.
Yeah.
And I left that place with my eyes bawling. So
she was okay. So it was a gathering it was actually an old supposed haunted pub.
Yeah.
But they had, a gathering of people who were going to see a psychic medium. She's very good, and she asked people to bring photos, didn't she?
Yeah, I took photos.
Yeah, so she asked people to bring photos, and and it was only a small group, and she tried to go around to every single person and read their photo, which she did brilliantly. There was one lady there, I think she had, someone was in jail, and there's all this. It was quite deep and dramatic. And, she just opened all that up. That was really amazing. But again, she's someone that didn't know you and she had that information. So it's just interesting to know that coming from a religious background to then sort of not believing to then going full circle and going, well, hang on a minute, there's more.
Yeah, well, there is more. Well, speaking of my grandmother, on my trip back home to America, I knew Tyler was on life support already. And by the time I hit the shores in Los Angeles, I got all these messages about my grandmother passing away at the same time. So I had 2 tragedies there all at one time. It was a lot to handle.
Yeah, a big traumatic time in your life.
Yeah.
So, but now all these years later, who would have thought? I think I mentioned in my group, how amazing it was that, you were able to come into my group and be a sitter and help the other mediums. Just, you always practice. You never ever stop practicing as a medium. It's something that you're always refining the skill and your skill's always evolving and growing and changing. And it's just amazing how, I was saying that, you can come in and do that. And someone in the group said, no, the amazing part is that he married a medium. And I'm like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that part of it. But this is, and I love that for you, for the fact that, having such a great loss, you can kind of think, was it coincidence that we met?
Well, it's not coincidence. It's destiny, because if I had to go through, pardon my language, shit to get to where I'm at now, and it almost didn't happen.
Yeah.
Story for another day. It almost didn't happen. But something, I wasn't at a good place where I was at, and I needed a change. And anyway, 25 years later, here I am.
Well, there you go. And who would have thought? So for those out there is hope.
Oh, absolutely.
And there is healing. If you find and I cannot stress enough, you must find the right person. If you're looking into this and you want to communicate with someone who's passed, please find the right person. Do your research. Talk to them if you can. If they're online, look at their videos, watch them, resonate with them. It really is a healing experience, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
And just peace of mind in knowing that they're always around you.
Yeah.
Like they've never actually left. They're just physically not here. Physically. But they,
well, one could say that Tyler guided me to somebody who could help me communicate with him.
yeah,
You could say that. I mean,
yeah, exactly.
and not trying to be funny. That's what happened.
Yeah, yeah.
And here I am.
Yeah, I agree. And they do inspire you to, make that call or be at that place or.
Well, I don't know where I would be at the moment if it wasn't for the way things turned out.
Yeah. It's amazing, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
It's really remarkable.
I don't know what I'd be doing. Don't know where I'd be at. Don't know.
Yeah. Because when I met you, I wasn't a medium. Like I wasn't practicing mediumship. I was always a believer. Like I was familiar with other modalities and was still a spiritual person, but wasn't really practicing anything at the time. I had, done courses over the years on different things. Was always
how I met you was signing up to card reading. So go figure that one.
Yeah. Ooh, which is a topic that's coming up on another episode with the card reader. So
anyway,
but yeah, so it's really interesting, the how the events all unfolded, and then here you are today, and you've got all this access to being able to communicate with the other side through me or people that I know. It really is
it's great and it's overwhelming all at the same time.
Yeah.
Sometimes I just have to walk away because it's like what just happened.
Yeah. It's amazing.
Yeah, it is.
Life really is amazing. So now, do I have another question for you? Let me look at my list.
I'm just a book of answers.
So I guess we've kind of covered that. Like, what's it like being married to a medium?
No,
it's dull and boring, really, isn't it?
No, it's not dull and it's not boring. It's trying to make sure you've got all your tools to do what you need to do. We've got your phone set up, your computer set up, your
everything,
your mixer set up, and your podcast set up, and it's getting you what you need. And I do that with everything. I mean, doing your bodybuilding thing, you got to have your tools to do that.
Yeah,
and we've got all that. We've got.
It's never a dull moment, is there?
No.
There's always something on the go.
No.
I can't help it. I'm a creative person.
Yeah.
But I love helping other mediums as well. So that then creates, there's just the energies and the mix of people and just the amazing things that other mediums are able to do.
But even so far as that, if you don't have a good foundation to start with, and you're constantly fighting with the person that you're with to do what you want to do, you're going to struggle.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
You got to work together, and
Yeah, exactly. But and life's full of stories, isn't it?
It is. Life is a story. It's one chapter at a time.
And like you said, even though you don't practice, but as you mentioned, you had visitations in dreams.
Oh yeah, I get those all the time.
Yeah.
And I get woken up and I'm like, that was just so real. And then I don't know, it's very, very I don't know, for lack of words, heartwarming, or
it's comforting,
it's fulfilling,
to know.
satisfying, just comforting.
Yeah.
Just all those things all at the same time.
Because when you say that, like you'll wake up and say, oh, guess what? And I'm like, ooh, tell me more. What did they say? How did you feel? I've got to go through the questions. I've got to try and
I get a lot of things as well, and some I don't talk to you about because I can't explain it, but it's a peaceful feeling for me, and I know that it's there. And a lot of other people can't deal with what I've gone through. They turn a different road and start doing drugs and getting going down a whole different path and can't deal with life in general.
Yeah.
So if you don't have your support system with you, or somebody they're helping you along the way, whether they realize it or not, you're just walking around blind in circles and you don't know where you're going.
And you merely exist.
If that.
Yeah, rather than, yeah. And it's nice to not just survive, but to thrive in the right environment, isn't it?
You know, I go and do my thing and I'll let you do your thing, and it just works.
Yeah. We share stories, come back and meet in the middle, and off we go again. Yeah. We're very blessed. We're very blessed to have such a good life. We really do. So, well, I think that's enough for today.
No.
That was a bit.
Have we been talking more than 3 minutes?
That was a very probably a little bit emotional.
No, it was a lot.
And for others who may be in similar situations. Again, though, that there are people out there that can help. Not every, and I know a lot of people say, oh, mediums are charlatans. Yes, they may be out there. It's like car salesmen. Some are car salesmen. Why can't I say that word? Like a car salesman. Some are genuinely love their job and genuinely want to help, but there are others there that they're just out for the money, and they'll just tell you whatever you want to hear. So again, it's about doing your research. And I mean, look, if you're looking for a good medium, by all means, put a comment, in the,
We know a few of them.
Yeah, we do. A lot. And in many different countries. So drop a comment and we can always guide you in the right direction.
And many different methods.
Yeah.
For lack of better words.
Absolutely.
Methods.
Yeah, exactly.
Because everybody does it different.
Oh, don't they just? That's one of the biggest things since doing mediumship all those years ago that I've come to realize is that there is not just one way. There are many different ways.
There's many different paths to get to the destination. You just have to figure out which one works for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
And sometimes it's easier to go with somebody than to try to go at it alone.
Yes, that's true. Exactly. Get yourself a good support network. On that note.
Support network.
Exactly. Thank you for being on the show again.
Yeah, is that all?
A pleasure. That's it. Now you're free. You're free to go. I release you now.
No. You ain't getting rid of me that easily.
All right, guys. Thanks once again for watching our journey, part of our journey and our story. I know
we'll see you next time.
Yeah, we'll be back again. And I look forward to having you back again on the Mediums Table. To view the show notes, head over to themediumstable.com.au. If you want to watch these episodes, head over to our YouTube channel, The Mediums Table Podcast.